This is an out-of-the-box review of the Tonife, I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce it, but we'll just say Tonife for now. Scandi Hunter fixed blade. Has an overall length of 9 3/8 inches, blade length of 4 3/8 inches, cutting edge of 4 inches, handle length of 5 inches. It's a rubberized nylon handle with a stainless steel blade, Scandinavian Grind. Came in a simple box. Comes with a nylon sheath. It's a very basic nylon sheath, sewn and riveted in 2 places with a very simple belt loop. Holds the knife securely. And is right at about $17 on Amazon. I purchased this knife because I was just browsing through Amazon. I'm a huge Mora fan. I have several Moras, a couple of which are antique Mora knives, not by Morakniv, but Broderna's Johnson Moras, and then I have a #2 classic and a #1 classic. But I was looking through Scandinavian knives on Amazon, and this popped up, and I looked at the price point and said, "I'll give it a try. It's $16. What can I lose?" So let's talk about some things with this particular knife. At first glance, it looks very utilitarian. Good shape to the handle. Looks very comfortable to hold. Provides a decent grip. This is a very good blade size. Anything more than 4.5 inches gets unwieldy. Anything smaller than 4.5 inches limits you on tasks you can perform. But it looks like a very good solid knife. The Scandinavian Grind almost feels like a hollow grind on one side. Maybe that's from their sander. And again, on the other side, sharpening will tell. Out of the box, it felt very, very sharp, and it is very, very sharp. All the way to the tip, from the heel of the blade all the way to the point. It's very, very sharp. If you look at the blade shape, you have a pretty substantial belly here, and then a very slight recurve back toward the heel of the blade. Not sure what that's going to do as far as sharpening the knife, if it's going to make it difficult or not. Again, use and time will tell. It does not have a 90-degree spine. However, many of us will put our knives on a belt sander and go ahead and put a 90-degree spine. There's a slight hump right here toward the tip, about 1.5 inches back. Not that that has anything to do with the performance of the knife. For all intent and purposes, it looks like it'll be a very useful blade. It'll be very durable. It looks, from appearances that care went into the manufacture of this blade, the edge is polished, the steel is polished, and the logo doesn't feel like it's cheaply etched. It feels fairly substantially etched into the blade. I can actually feel it catching my fingernail. Perhaps you can hear it. So that sounds pretty pretty well crafted. This company is out of Hong Kong, if I'm reading it correctly. Quality Knives and Tools. It came with a pamphlet of information on the blade. Real quick overview. Never heard of this company before, but Tonife, enjoy your elegant life. Tonife is a sub-brand of Hong Kong Flyer Industrial Company Limited. Its products cover household goods and outdoor sports. Now our products have successfully exported to many countries and regions, obtained full OEM ODM experience, gained great share of the market and popularity. Tonife is committed to make household life fashionable and colorful and strive to make outdoor sports convenient and joyful. Tonife, enjoy elegant life. I'm going to presume that that is an interpretation. Grammatical errors in there. I'm reading it directly from the flyer inside. And according to this flyer, they have ceramic knives, kitchen knives, silicone products, outdoor knives, and tools. Seeing as this is an outdoor knife, we're going to focus on what they say about outdoor knives. Tonife outdoor knives adhere to years of Europe and America customers' cooperation experience. Select the high-quality materials in the concept of practical and convenient. Provide all kinds of folding knives and fixed blade knives, which can let your outdoor sports and adventures more safe and rich. Again, direct interpretation, reading directly from the enclosed information. They have an email address at the bottom here, tonife@163.com. I presume that's an overseas email. They have a website, www.tonife.com/en, and then a QR scan at the bottom. I'll do that later, probably update with this review. But once again, for the price point, it was hard to pass it up just to see what we're getting into here. I enjoy knives, especially affordable knives. I am a believer in a good knife does not have to be a custom knife and cost 3 figures. Once again, I refer you back to Morakniv, and a $10 Morakniv can last as long as a $500 hand-forged custom. So, I digress. Initial impressions, it looks like a very solid outdoor knife. This would be a great woodcraft, bushcraft, wilderness knife. The blade is about 3.5 millimeters thick, or a little more than 1/8 of an inch. The handle material feels fairly secure as far as grip. The only issue that I can foresee happening is, if you notice, you have some contouring to the handle here, which lends itself to a good grip, you know, with the fingers. However, there is no contouring on the sides. It's a very flat handle, very flat on the sides of the handle. Now, again, this may not be a factor, but I can see that if you were to use this knife for a substantial period of time, if you're doing a lot of game processing or wood processing with this knife, over time I can see where perhaps, you know, you might develop some hot spots in a couple of places, or you know, it's just not going to lend itself to certain grips as well. But it does not seem to be uncomfortable at all. And once again, I have yet to use the knife. This is just an out-of-the-box review. The next point is the sheath. Now, some people don't really have much to say about sheaths other than they just need to hold the knife. This sheath does hold the knife. Sliding the knife in, we kind of have a slight problem there because it's a nylon sheath, and in order to get the knife in, you kind of have to squeeze the knife a little bit, kind of open the sheath up to be able to drop the knife in. Now once you get past that point, it slides in, and it's in there. It's not just going to fall out. I mean, I can try to shake the knife out. She's not going to come out. But that could be a little bit of a concern. The belt loop is a little hinky, a word I would use, hinky. It's just a thin piece of nylon webbing sewn in at the seam at the top with this gusseting here, and then one stitch across the bottom, just one track of stitch across here. So I could see that if you were wearing this out in the woods and you know, over time this will just break free. It doesn't look like it would hold up to much more use than, you know, an occasional jaunt into the woods. Also, and you can't really see this, but there's no liner. I mean, I can show you by doing this. There's no liner inside here. There's no liner to prevent your edge from contacting the stitching inside here. There's no welt inside here either to prevent the edge from cutting the stitches. So I could see over time, pushing the knife in and out of the sheath, at some point you're going to cut your stitches. Something will occur, and that rivet being metal, you know, as it stands, the knife in the sheath, you can see that rivet could possibly contact your edge. I go back to the $16 price point, and of course some people are going to say Mora's sheaths are plastic injection molded, etc., and I understand that. Once again, $16, $17 for this knife, and you know, you get a fairly quality product. And out of the box, oops, almost spoke too soon. A knife with an edge that keen at $16. It's very uncommon. So, Tonife Scandinavian Fixed Blade Hunter. I'll update with another video of this knife actually in use. This again is just an out-of-the-box review, and if any of you out there happen to own this particular knife and have used it, you know, comment below and tell me what you think. I'm more of a fan of carbon steel blades simply because they're harder in general. As far as the Rockwell scale, they're generally a harder steel, and I think they patina well. It's really nice, like your grandfather's old case knife. It's got like the nearly blue blade. But stainless steel has its merit insofar that it's easy to clean and you don't have to worry about rusting or any of that. You generally just wipe it off with a cloth and go about your day. But anyway, so the Tonife Scandinavian Fixed Blade Hunter.